Greetings, polite, creative, refined Libra. My name is Eliane Nicole. I'm an astrologer and tarot card reader, and now I'm going to do the January 2021 forecast for the sign of Libra. Congratulations on making it to 2021. I am going to start with a tarot reading, and in the second half of the video, I'm going to talk about broad strokes of some of the planetary alignments. I encourage you to follow me on Instagram at astrology.tarot.Eliane Nicole, because there I will continue the conversation that I start here and fill in the details as the transits unfold. I do daily moon transits in my stories, and then in the feed I do the planetary transits when they happen. And in the meantime and in between time, it's good to watch your sun and rising videos here, rising especially for the second half, because that will tell you where the planets are in your chart. So as we enter the month of January 2021, Libra, we see that you are weighing a decision. It's a material decision of some kind, possibly a financial decision or a business decision. And you are covered by the King of Pentacles, and this is a man of finance or business. This is a good business opportunity that's emerging, being presented. It could be a job offer. It could be a financial offer. It could be that you are dealing with a earth sign man, Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo, and you are crossed by the Wheel of Fortune, with it, which is fate and destiny and the cycles of life. That's a big theme for January for you. And the basis is the Five of Pentacles. So again, this is about a financial situation for you. This looks like a financial injury, possibly. And if it's not financial, it could be a business injury. It could also be a spiritual injury of some kind. And what's leaving is the Eight of Wands. This is a time of a lot of forward movement, progress. It could even be traveling. What will come into being, what could come into being, is the Ace of Pentacles. Again, there's so many pentacles for you this month. A lot of business, money, practical matters, practical concerns. It looks like mid-month, this could be an invitation, it could be a financial gift, it could be a new business opportunity, a job offer, a promotion offer, something like that. What will come into being also around mid-month, I think that this is the new moon, and it looks like, I guess there could be a business offer, a financial offer, something around the new moon. And fears or insecurities, this is about getting over a disappointment of the past. Others see you as the Nine of Wands reversed, letting your guard down around the third week of the month. Positive feelings, the King of Swords reversed. So it looks like there's a man who, he may be uncertain, he may be vacillating, but you feel very positive about him towards the end of the month. And then the outcome is the Four of Swords. So at the end of the month, it looks like you are in a state of meditation, reflection, maybe taking some time to yourself, maybe retreating, maybe reclusing, so that you can think about something. You're resting, you're meditating, you're thinking through something. And so that is the tarot overview for Libra. And now I'm going to talk about some of the planetary transits. January 6th, Mars enters Taurus. When Mars enters Taurus, he's entering your 8th house of other people's money. Mars is going to be very active in this house. He could be this month creating a volatile situation in that area for you. January 8th, Mercury enters Aquarius. Mercury in Aquarius will be entering your 5th house of creativity. This is a very inventive time, a thinking out of the box time, an innovative time. This is also the house of children. So for those of you who have children or are around children, it could also be thinking out of the box in this area, and thinking in a futuristic way in this area. And January 8th, Venus enters Capricorn. When Venus enters Capricorn, it's entering your house of home. And so it looks like you could be doing some, beautifying Venusian things around your home, handling business and practical matters around the aesthetics of your home. It could also be having to do with, bringing, thinking of serious ways to bring more of a romantic feeling into the home area as well. January 12th is the new moon of Capricorn. That new moon is also emerging in your house of home. So this is a great time to set intentions around the home, your parents, ancestors, security, wealth, land, real estate. New moons are incredibly rich in cosmic fertile soil to plant the seeds of intention that you want to manifest. I recommend doing an altar, having candles and flowers and crystals, and writing your intentions around these Capricorn themes. It's also, Capricorn themes are money and business, but because it's in your 4th house, it's also all those themes of home and that stuff that I talked about earlier. I'm not going to repeat because I'm trying to keep it moving. And January 14th, Uranus goes direct. This is in your 8th house. Again, the 8th house, this is the house of other people's money, so it deals with loans, inheritances, wills, alimony, settlements, but it's also the house of death, and it's the house of elimination, transformation, rebirth, regeneration. So these are going to be big themes for you in January with both Mars and Uranus in that house. Uranus going direct in that house, Mars making an ingress into that house, and they will be conjunct at a certain point in the month. So it is a volatile time in that house for you this month. And January 15th, Mercury enters its pre-shadow of retrograde. That's in the 5th house. So any contracts you have to sign, any kind of surgeries, any important events, any kind of like itinerary planning kind of stuff, you want to do that in the first 2 weeks of January before Mercury retrograde goes into shadow. Again, Mercury retrograde does not happen until January 30th, but the pre-shadow is January 15th for the last 2 weeks of the month. And Mercury retrograde just causes irritation and annoyance. And this one I think is really going to have to do with communication, socializing, thought processes, and the internet and our electronics and our, all of our technology. So any important stuff we want to get done before, it's going to be an uphill battle because all of that stuff is starting to go haywire. January 17th is Jupiter square Uranus. I encourage you to go back and watch my year 2021 overview that I did. I did one video for all the signs, and I really talk in more detail about this aspect because it's a really exciting aspect historically. But in your chart in particular, this aspect is bringing together your 5th house of children and that 8th house of other people's money. The 5th house of pleasures, joys, romance, sex. It's not just children. For some people, it will be children. For other people, it will be your creative projects. And so I'm just trying to give the whole scale of possible manifestations. It won't be exactly the same for every Libra, but it's those areas. And it looks like there could be sudden liberation, sudden expansion, sudden unexpected progress, something like that. And January 19th, Vesta goes retrograde. This is in your 12th house. I'm not going to go into that too much because Vesta is a asteroid, but if you want to know more about it, I talked about it at length in my November 2020 video when Vesta first entered that house for you. January 19th, the sun enters Aquarius. Again, this is in your 5th house. The 5th house is a big house for you this month. So learn about the 5th house, read about the 5th house. I talked about all of the themes of it already, so I'm not going to keep repeating them. All the topics that the 5th house covers. January 26th, Neptune squares the nodes. This is a very karmic aspect. This represents a karmic turning point in your life. You may not see it in the physical realm yet because it deals with Neptune, which is very ethereal and the unseen, and Neptune can create a fog. And then the nodes are unseen as well because they represent points. They're not planets. They're not lights. So, but this is for you, bringing together the house of health and also the house of spirituality, religion, higher truth, higher education, and the house of communication, the house of your siblings, the house of your neighbors. It can be the house of media. So there's so many different things that the third house is. There's so many different things that the ninth house is. And there's so many different things that the sixth house can be. But they are all really important houses. And so as this is unfolding, I would definitely encourage you to get a personal reading, and we could key into what these things are in your life that are having this turning point. It's coming to a head around January 26th. It's been building since October, and it will manifest when it manifests. January 28th, the full moon of Leo is in your 11th house of friends, groups, and organizations, bringing illumination to that area for you. And this moon is obviously opposing the sun because it's a full moon, but not only that, it's opposing, you know, the Jupiter Saturn conjunction that just became in that fifth house for you, which is kicking off that 20-year era in that life for you. So it's a new 20-year era in the house of children, the house of creative projects, all those fifth house things. And I really talked a lot about it in the December 2020 videos, and I've talked about it earlier in this video, what all the themes are, but this is an important house for you because you're kicking off a new 20-year era. And with Mercury being in there and Pallas Athene being in there, there's really an opportunity right now for you to look at where all the pieces are on the chessboard and think a couple steps ahead. Aquarius is so smart, so really, you know, draw from this brain power now. With Mercury and Pallas Athene in that house, you can really make the plans for this next era of your life right now. January 30th, Mercury goes retrograde in that house. So that's when things are going to get a little haywire and a little bit more difficult for the first 3 weeks of February, just in terms of technology and thinking and the future and, you know, all those Aquarian themes. But I'll talk more about that in the next set of videos. For now, that is it. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down, but I hope you liked it. Please leave a comment. Please subscribe if you have not already subscribed. Please share this video with other Libras and other Libra risings that you know. Definitely watch the video for your rising sign if you haven't already, because the astrology portion is largely based on it being your rising, whereas the tarot portion is more your sun and rising. So that is it for now, Libra. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. Have a wonderful, wonderful January.